Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the Spice license or Supermarket Simulator. This mod was made by Orion8559, and as you can see we have here an assortment of just regular everyday spices that you would see in pretty much any home. Pretty cool. That is one kind of big thing that's been missing from this. The only thing that's in this game is salt and pepper, which I would imagine food is pretty bland in this town, so we actually got a nice variety of spices, and this is looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity in this video to, since we're here, and I've had people ask about this before, when it comes to texture replacement, I'm going to show you guys how to replace textures on at least some of these newer product mods. May not necessarily be as easy on like some other things or whatever, but if you have a mod specifically that uses PNGs, they're pretty easy to swap out. So you can kind of get what you're looking for and put whatever artwork you want on there. And I'll also take an opportunity to say that this video is sponsored by My Spice Business. I have a company called Oishi FC and we sell spice blends. I'm going to be using not the official artwork from my spice blends, but I'll be using one of the concept arts that I was thinking about putting on bottles once I finally got access to them, and we'll be showing that there. The link will be down in the description if you want to try it out. We only ship in the US, so unfortunately if you are not in the US we won't be able to ship to you, but if you live in the US, you want to help support the channel, then you can try my spices there. So let's go into the game and actually check out the mod first and foremost. All right, here we are and back in our grocery store here. We've already purchased the mod in the game, and we've already unlocked it with the new method you have to do to unlock it. If you don't know about this, obviously after you download the mod and you install it, you want to go to management, you want to go to your licenses, and you want to purchase it. But when you purchase the license, you'll notice that it doesn't disappear and it's still here, and when you go into your store you will not see the items. That's a new issue that the new update brought, but don't worry about that. All you need to do is, after you purchase the license and back out of the computer, immediately save your game and then quit to desktop and boot the game back up. And then when you come back into the game, you go to your market, your product will be available. So here they are. We got all the basic standard household stuff: parsley, basil, ground cinnamon, black peppercorn, chili pepper, garlic powder, paprika, salt, crushed red pepper, oregano, lemon pepper, turmeric. I mean, if you have all this stuff, you're pretty much set. You can make basically anything you want. These are kind of the primary things that everybody should have in their house. I think the only things missing is we got garlic powder. I don't see any onion powder, but those are, you know, pretty much used universally in the houses that I grew up in. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and buy one of each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 brand new spices in the game, and we're gonna go ahead and get these set up here. We'll go ahead and come into this aisle and we'll just place them on the shelf here. Now, as you can see, that says basil, but it has my logo on there. We'll get to that later. Here's the turmeric. All right, so all of our spices are here and accounted for. As you can see, they look pretty good. Now, the one that stands out, obviously, this is the basil, and as you can see, my logo is on here for my original spice blend, like I said, which you can get off the website and the link down below. The logo doesn't exactly look like this. Like, the OG logo is basically just this by itself. I added this stuff specifically for the game. Well, first we're going to save it. We're going to save it, and then we're going to quit to desktop. All right, here we are in our Supermarket Simulator directory file. This is where our game files are. And if you've installed the mod already, you're going to want to go to BepInEx, Plugins, More Products, because this is a product mod. And as you can see here, I have added the spice license here. If you do not know how to install more products and these more product mods, then there's a video that I'm going to also leave down in the description for you guys to check out. That'll give you a tutorial on how to install these things. But if you do know what you're doing, then you would already have this here. You should be good to go. So let's open this up. And what we're going to look at is the object textures. So this is what we're looking at in here. These are all of the textures. As you can see, If you click on them, it'll blow them up here and you can actually see that's the texture of the paprika. And this is the actual picture. Very high quality. These look really good, by the way. So as you can see here, we have the basil, and then the label file, the OG label file would be labeled basil label, and that's it, right? But I have switched the name of this label to basil label 2. And my file now that has taken over is called basil label, right? So this one I removed. Well, I kind of removed it from the game because it does not match up with the basil original file. These two match up, so this is the picture it's displaying. But that's a little bit something else. We're gonna go to PicMonkey now so I can show you guys how to even do this in the first place. So you're gonna go to whatever, I don't know if you use Photoshop, if you use PicMonkey, whatever you use to edit your picture files. Some people use GIMP or whatever. I think that's what it's called. Doesn't matter. Just whatever you use that. All right, so PicMonkey is what I use. So what I would do is I would go here. So let's take the lemon pepper and go ahead and drag it into here. That will bring up the file here, and as you can see, this is the image that's made. This is actually a really high quality image, which is a little unusual. A lot of times you don't see people use images that are this high quality. Like the resolution is nuts on this thing, but that really makes sure that you get something that's very visible and easy to see on those small bottles. So that was a pretty good call on their part. So what are we gonna do in order to change this? Well, let's go ahead and actually find our reference photos. All right, I've actually went to my files and located another one of my spices here. This was another just like a demo or whatever. Not really a demo, but just like something I made to put into the game. Now, the problem with mine is I did not actually make these files that large. Like they were actually pretty small when I made them for the product that I initially put them on. So they don't look all that good, right? Like these are not nearly as, I guess, clear and nice looking as the ones that came before. Like there's a clear quality difference, right? The quality on mine is much lower. The fact that this is a lower quality is not really that important right now. Basically what we need to do is just save this so I could show you guys what I'm talking about. So now we have our picture here. It is replacing the other picture and kind of covering it here. So we're going to go ahead and download this. And when you download it, it's going to save as the name of the original image. But we don't want to do that. So we're going to go back to our game directory. We're going to go to BepInEx, plugins, more products, spice license, textures, and then here we're back into this screen. Now, as you can see, they're telling you to save this as lemon pepper label. There's already something here saved as lemon pepper label. You don't want to overwrite this or save over it, or you'll get rid of it. Now, the other option is you can just take all of these files and just back them up in another folder called like backup spice labels or something like that, and just like put it on your desktop so you have the original. The originals will be here the whole time. You don't have to like do none of this stuff that I'm doing. If you do that step, by the way, this is completely irrelevant. Everything I'm showing you right now is totally worthless. You don't have to do any of this if you just back these up ahead of time. But I'm stupid and do things way more stupidly than you should. So you can follow this, or you can just do what I just said do earlier. So I'm switching the lemon pepper label to lemon pepper label 2. Now these two files won't recognize each other when we go into the game. So this will no longer represent this. So here we go. We have our labels back up here, and this one says lemon pepper label. This one says lemon pepper. So these two should be the ones that kind of mix and match with each other. So once you've done this and you've saved the folder or the file in here and it matches with the image over here, then we're gonna boot back up the game. All right, we are back in our store now, and as you can see, we have our label that was here, and now the lemon pepper label is now our spicy image. And like I was telling you guys before, like these are pretty high quality images. They look really good up against the item here, and like you can kind of really easily read it and distinguish. Mine, as you can see, was clearly of a lower quality, but because it shows up in the game as such a small picture, it doesn't look bad still. Like, it still looks pretty good quality. So that's not something you should really concern yourself about, especially when we're dealing with tiny images like this. Like, it's not that big a deal. But as you can see, the swap over was easy. And you can do this with literally anything that has a PNG file that you can edit that's named something. Now, there are some 3D assets and stuff, some things that already have like a 3D model that's been like made in Blender or something, and may not have like a available open PNG file for you to edit yourself. Some of them have like really complicated PNG files that is like an amalgamation of a bunch of different items at once. I think that's how the new licenses have been done, and sometimes you won't be able to edit those because they're just kind of more complicated to edit, and I might be able to show you an example of that. So let's back out of the game again. So if we go to the PlayStation 2 game pack, for example, and we go to textures, as you can see, we have the textures of the case and covers here. This is the front, this is the side, this is the back. Very easy, very simple. So if you wanted to go through and you wanted to change this stuff, it would be very easy to do because there's a PNG right here. So you can replace this with any game you want. You just need to find the proper image, and this doesn't have to be Final Fantasy X. If you want this to be something else, if you think that the person who made this mod picked garbage games and you want to put better games in there, just find the same case image of the game you want and replace it with whatever, I don't know, picture editing software that you use. Now, let's go back to, let's go back one more page. We're going to go back to BepInEx, and instead of more products, we're going to go to texture replacer. And in this file, we're going to go to product objects textures. Now, as you can see, a lot of people have been having issues with their new mods and stuff working because all of the OG stuff, like this is all the regular items that are in the game. This is all the plain stuff, you know, like the vanilla. All this stuff utilizes these. And this, like I said before, this is just like, what are you supposed to do with this? It's just like a cluster of all kinds of stuff, and it makes it very difficult for you to change very specific products because when you look at this, like I said, it's all over the place. Like they purposely made it hard to edit. So these are notoriously difficult to edit for that reason unless you just know what you're doing, and some people know what they're doing. So they go ahead and they just do that. So this is pretty much why a lot of people have kind of moved away from texture replacement and kind of shifted over into the more products realm. You're seeing a lot less textures and a lot more products, because with the products, you can still go in here and you can make these very simplistic textures, these very easy to recognize and very simplistic textures like this, and just edit them pretty easily. Be mindful of that. Chances are, if you're doing a texture replacement and you're trying to replace the products and stuff in the game, if they are not in this format, then it's probably not going to work. Like if you downloaded a new texture replacement mod and they're still using all the individual PNGs for every individual item, it's probably not going to function for you. Like it's just not going to work. No matter how much you try to get it to work, no matter how properly you installed it, those mods were not updated to accommodate this new system, which is why it doesn't work. So I'll have a dedicated individual video specifically about that coming soon. But the main point of this video was just to show you guys how to edit images that have very simplistic and easy PNGs for the future. So if you want to do that, you can. Otherwise, that's kind of it. Like I said, this video is sponsored by my spice company, Oishi FC. If you want to try out the spices, that's a good way to help the channel. Like I said, if you're anywhere in the US, we can ship to you. If you're not in the US, unfortunately, we can't. So it is what it is. But support the channel in that way if you'd like to, or if you can't do it in that way, totally fine. Just hit that like button and share the video and let everybody know that you enjoyed it, so that way YouTube can spread it along. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.